I get it. It's tough to start a new thing, especially when you're in the analysis paralysis stage. You can just be staring at this opportunity and wondering why in the world you haven't jumped in. Well, today I'm going to show you how to take action on your dreams. Hey everyone, welcome into the Fearless Investor Podcast. You're listening to me, Kyle Stanley. And before we get into taking action today, really excited about this topic, but I want to thank our sponsor. It is Boostly, my good friend over at Boostly, Mark Simpson. He's got a message for you today, and it is this. Listen up. In case you didn't know, it's 2021. Things are changing in the short-term rentals world. Host, you can't keep relying on Airbnb to bring you all of your business. You have to start booking directly to your customer. And what does that mean? How do you do that? It's actually pretty simple, though. You just make your own website, and you need to not cut corners, though. You need to make sure it's on WordPress. Do it the right way. I know you're thinking, though, because I was here just literally a few months ago, and you're probably going to have to spend a lot of money or a lot of time making that site, right? Well, that's where Boostly comes in. Boostly is the best in the business for website design in the short-term rentals game, servicing over 600 clients worldwide. That's right, worldwide. Every website is built on WordPress and done for you, so you don't have to even worry about it. Pricing starts right around $99, and it doesn't matter if you have 1 or 100 properties. And Mark Simpson, again, my good friend, he's the founder of Boostly. He tells me that it's guaranteed to get you direct bookings or your money back. Just book a call with Mark's team, and that's boostly.co.uk/fearless. Your future business will thank you. Again, Boostly, boostly.co.uk/fearless. So that being said, if you're already there, like if you're ready to contact Mark, you're probably at a level where you're wanting to take your business to the next level. So that might be how I'm talking to you today. But for many of you, it might just be taking that very first step. It might be that very first, looking back at all the things that I did. And for me, I'm a very analytical person. I can absolutely very easily get into this analysis phase that will paralyze me from ever taking action. But for some reason, I've never really had that difficult decision of wondering, should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? And I had to really sit back and kind of think, what has been the differences in my life of why I've been able to start 3 different businesses, why I've been able to leave, very secure jobs with retirement plans and with overtime and a salary, and really just saying, you know what, I'm ready to do this. And it came down to a few things, and I'm going to make it really easy for you today. It's literally the acronym ACTION, ACTION. And so let's start with the very first thing. And this is going to be a really quick episode today because I want to keep this simple for you. A stands for, are you ready? And so the are you ready phase comes in about 4 different phases. So first of all, it's a commitment level. Scale of 1 to 10. You need to be a 10 out of 10 or more. Like, I am ready. I am committed. To equate that to my story, when I started in real estate and Airbnb, I was all in. It was the first thing I was thinking of when I woke up. It was the last thing I was thinking of when I was going to bed. It was what was going on my phone. It was what I was listening to on podcasts, watching on YouTube channels. It was everything. I was a 10 out of 10 committed. You need to be right there as well. And really, your why is going to support that. My why was passive income, so I can be more present with family and friends. And so that one day when I had kids, I could not only provide them with the life that I wanted for them, but be present with them as well. And so my why was really exactly why I was a 10 out of 10 committed. So first part is commitment. Second part is, are you ready financially? There's a few questions when it comes to this. Do you have the available capital to actually get started into this? Okay. Or it doesn't have to be in your own bank account. It just needs to be available to you. Okay. What I mean by that is, can you go and get some credit cards? Can you get convenience checks? Can you get, with Airbnb, you can literally just bulk purchase a bunch of things on Amazon and pay it off in 6, 12, or 18 months. The availability of capital is a big thing. But at the end of the day, you have to also know, hey, if that availability of capital runs out and this whole thing doesn't work out, do I have that emergency fund to be able to pay all that stuff off? I think that's really important. The place that people get really stuck is they hear all this stuff of get into Airbnb for no money or get into real estate for no money. And what do? They think they literally need no money. And you get these people who have zero money and zero idea what they're doing. They put all this stuff on credit cards, all this stuff in different places. And then they realize like, oh my gosh, I've done this the wrong way. And now they have all this debt that they can't pay off. Okay. So we don't want to be those people. We need to have an emergency fund that is ready in case we have those backups that need to come in. So for me, when I got into real estate, I was like, okay, I dropped 30K. Like you want to talk about commitment, 10 out of 10. I dropped 30K. And then I said, I need at least another 30K behind me in case this thing doesn't work out. Because if I'm quitting my job, that's, basically what it's going to take for me to make sure that I'm set for the next 6 months. So an emergency fund, I would suggest right around 6 months. And are you willing to invest at all? Don't invest at all. Okay. I usually say if you only have a certain amount of money, don't put it all in, because you're going to need some, like, just to have operating expenses as well. There's going to be other things coming up. So don't invest at all, but are you willing to invest at all? If you're willing to invest at all, you're probably ready financially. What about time-wise? So we went over, are you ready to commit? Are you ready financially? Are you ready with your time? Really one simple question. Will you make the time? It's not, do I have the time? It's not, can I make the time? It's, will you make the time? Very simple. If it's something that you care enough about to make, time should not be an issue. I realize there's some very slight exceptions to this, very slight, but there's things in our lives, 168 hours in a week. We can sacrifice sleep. We can sacrifice the things that we want in the long term by not having them in the short term. We can use those things that are holding us back to now be our why. Okay, you want to spend more time with your family? Guess what? It might take you spending an hour less per day with your family so that in the future you can have 5 hours more per day with your family. Those are the things you need to think about right away. The plan. Are you ready? And do you have a plan? Okay, having the right plan is absolutely going to get you to your goal the fastest and the most efficient way. If you don't have, so if you're ready to commit, if you're ready financially, if you're ready to put in the time, but you don't have the plan, it doesn't matter. The plan is everything. The plan is what's going to make you successful and not have to zigzag all these different places. Again, I say it all the time. Warren Buffett, one of my favorite sayings from him is, the best way to learn is by learning from mistakes, but no one said they had to be your own. So the plan is to learn from other people's mistakes, take their route, and get rid of all the distractions that hurt them from getting to their goal faster so that you can get to your goal faster. Find someone's plan, do it even a little bit better. All right, so that's A. The reason I went into that one so deep is because that really is, to me, like the biggest question. Are you truly ready? Are you just saying you're ready, or are you actually ready? So that's A. C, create the cases. And what I mean by that is, what is the best case scenario and what is the worst case scenario? So worst case scenario, all right, I spend X amount of time and I lose X amount of dollars. All right, my very first jump into real estate, hey, I spend, let's call it 120 hours in this. I spend $30,000 investing my time. Turns out I hate this whole thing. Turns out I absolutely hate it. Or let's even say that I get my first deal and I get stuck with it. Worst case scenario, I hold on to it as a rental until the market is high enough where I can sell that thing. So for me, the worst case scenario was basically lose $30,000 and about, call it 3 weeks of time for a 40-hour a week job. That's not too bad, right? Airbnb, it was, hey, my first unit, I'm going to be doing like a 1-1 because I really want to test to see if this thing goes as expected to. That'll only cost about $5,000 to get up and running. Maybe take me about 40 to 50 hours to actually find the first place. Well, that's exactly what happened. I found the first place in my first month. It took me about 40 or 50 hours to do. And then I put in actually only $3,500 into my first place, and it was making me money. So worst case never happened, but I was prepared for that, and it really wasn't a big deal. So the good thing about that is the worst case I can handle. If I can handle the worst case, now it just comes down to, is the best case exactly what I want for my life? So what's the best case? Well, does it meet your long-term goals? And what I mean by that, is, this can, by the way, this isn't just a business, guys. This could be literally a relationship. It could be having kids. It could be getting a dog. Like it can be a lot of different things. But for me, I'm going to keep it business for right now. And to me, if you're listening to this podcast, you probably want financial and time freedom. So let's just keep it at that. If it doesn't meet your need of financial and time freedom, then why are you going to do it? Who did I just have on my show? It was Gary Boomershine. I had him on the show, and he was talking about how we get into real estate, and we talk about getting into real estate because we want passive, but then we start seeing wholesaling and flipping and all these things that take a lot of our time, and we lose sight of why we even got in. So if it's going to be something that's going to take a lot of your time and sure you're making a lot of money, is that truly the goal? Or is it, hey, I want the time freedom and the financial freedom. And if it doesn't get you there, if it doesn't meet that goal, and whatever else that goal might be, it's not worth it. Okay. If your goal is to work from home and you'll never see yourself working from home with this, why are you even going to get into it? All right. So creating the cases, that's the C. Now onto the T, just try it. All right. You don't even have to dive head first. You don't have to burn the boats. You don't have to quit your job. You don't have to change your entire life. Just get in, just try the dang thing. For example, again, going back to my story on that very first unit for Airbnb, I was not convinced that Airbnb was going to work. I was actually quite skeptical. I loved the idea of rental arbitrage, but I was like, it's not going to work in Fresno. So what did I do? I tried it. I put in the 40 or 50 hours month one. I got the unit. And in the first 30 days, the first 90 days were booked. And I was making almost $900 per month on a 1-bedroom, 1-bath in Fresno. Guess what happened after that? I was all in. I knew it. I knew exactly that this was going to work. I just tried it first. So when you try it, you know a few different things. You'll know if you love it. I loved it. I was like, this is one of the easiest things I've ever done. Plus, it's kind of fun. Gives me a little bit of a rush. Is it sustainable? All I got to do is find a cleaner. I was cleaning myself. So if I just find a cleaner, that's pretty sustainable. I can do other things. Is it everything you thought it would be? Even more, even better. I had no idea that I was going to be fully booked in the first 3 months. I thought people would never want to come to Fresno, California, but they did. So for me, the ACT, okay, ACT, that is the taking the action is all in the ACT. Okay. So at this point, what have we determined? We've determined we're ready. We've determined that the worst case and the best case scenario, worst case scenario is doable. Best case scenario is really exciting. And then the T is try it. I've tried it. I really like it. So the ION, ION, this is a little cheesy, just gonna be honest, a little cheesy, but ION just means eye on the prize. Okay. ION, eye on the prize, not ion like what you learned about in chemistry, ion in terms of eye on the prize. So what do I mean by that? You've already answered the ACT part of this. All right. You already know this is something that you're going to be all in on. So as long as you have proof of concept, just stink and go all in. Don't let, and throw on those blinders. Don't let anything else distract you. Master that one thing and just get all in. Keep that eye on the prize, which at the end of the day, what is the prize? What do I mean by that? It's your why and your goal. Okay. It could be interchangeable. Why and your goal. If your why, just like mine was, to get into Airbnb for financial and time freedom, and I said I was ready, I created the cases, and then I tried it, I went all in and I said, financial time freedom is absolutely possible with this. I am not taking my eye off of that, and I have not taken my eye off of that. So do that. Follow this, the ACTION acronym, and it can help you to be able to get plugged into where you want to go in life. All right. I'm really excited about this one. I hope this hits someone. Love it if you DM me on Instagram at Fearless Kyle. Let me know what part of today's episode really hit you. If you want to review on the podcast or comment on the YouTube channel, that's also awesome. But I would also love if you took a moment and just said, hey, you know what? I've got some questions. I'm ready to take action. I just don't really, we talked about the plan there, right? If you have all of the things, if you have the financial means, if you have the commitment, if you have the time that you're ready to go and do this, but you don't have the plan, well, let's set up your plan. All you got to do is set up a call with me, free 15 minutes consultation, fearlesskyle.com/consultation. You can do it right there and we can get on the phone and we can talk about your plan. Again, fearlesskyle.com/consultation. All right. I hope this helped you today to conquer the world of investing, and honestly conquering your mind so that you can take action, get past analysis paralysis. We'll see you next time here on the Fearless Investor Podcast.